We are reminded that South African cinema is not just entertainment, it's survival, it's memory, it's resistance, and it is responsibility. So, as you've seen, from the apartheid to democracy era to the streaming age as well, cinema has functioned as a cultural lifeline, and it's a way to remember ourselves, argue with power, imagine futures when reality was so hostile. And so explores author of Action, a celebration of South African cinema, Lelo Mzaca, who joins us here in studio to unpack his offering in our book review segment this morning. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, love the energy as well. And thank you for penning thoughts to paper. I'm so impressed by, we need to be celebrating a lot of things in South Africa, and this is exactly what you do. One of the oldest industries in the entire world when it comes to benchmarking ourselves. This is how you assert your agency. So thank you for that.
Nah, you're welcome.
The book, it takes us on a journey. And I think each short chapter is a moment. It actually reads like a film score because you really go through the moments. And to your point, to the point about resistance, freedom, identity, all of that is explored. Tell us about the creative process in compiling that. You had a lot to do here.
I had a lot to do. Some people usually ask me, how long did it take for me to actually put this book together? And I'm like, between 30 and 35 years. Because all of these 40 movies that I've written about in here are movies that I've actually grown up watching over the years.
Absolutely.
And I decided, you know what, let me just pen something down because there isn't anything like this in South Africa that actually celebrates South Africa's film industry and the movies that we've put out to the world over the years. So that's why I decided to write this book.
I actually like that you say it's movies you grew up with. It took me on that journey as well. We've seen how far we've come, but it also highlights the challenges as well as the success stories. So let's start at the beginning. It's a way of life. It's a way of survival. That's the foundation you start with.
A way of life. I mean, it's a book about, it's a movie about football. It's a movie about football. Men's State Cup, Orlando Stadium, it was in the 80s, and everything that actually happened around there. It celebrates the soccer players, it celebrates the leagues that we had, it celebrates the fans and how football culture actually is in South Africa and what it just gave to the people. Because, I mean, remember in the 80s, it was during apartheid. You know, the country was really, really in a state of emergency, and people needed something that would actually give them some kind of happiness and make them just forget about their problems. And you know, football was the thing.
No,
so
absolutely.
That's why the way of life.
Giving away our age, but also, yes, to your point, we're seeing how relevant it still is today. When you look at the FIFA World Cup, you look at the dynamics, Madiba urging us to reconcile through sport as well. But film archives that, and that's the important part as well. Then you go to Amandla, a revolution, four-part harmony. Tell us exactly.
The thing about the documentary Amandla, it's basically about struggle songs.
Absolutely.
It's about struggle songs and how the struggle songs came about, what they did for South Africans, what they did for, because you know what, the thing about people is that when they are mourning, they sing. When they are happy, they sing. When they are going through struggle, they sing. And even like when they were in the camps out in the country in exile, it's also a song that actually kept the morale up. And that's what this documentary was about. And that's what I've written about that, to say what it actually represented as a documentary, as a movie.
Cry Freedom. I want to get into that because the way narratives are also informed is important. Who tells the story and through what lens as well. It was important to also delve into that, given our own history, and again to the point about agency.
Cry Freedom, Denzel Washington acting there as Stephen Bantu Biko. I mean, that was a very, very powerful story, just telling us about the man himself and what he has been through. And also, when it comes to Denzel Washington, the way he executed the movie was really, really, I can't even explain it. It was absolutely brilliant. And that's another thing about the South African film industry is that we have people who are actors and people who work behind the scenes who are South African, who actually go overseas and, you know, they go and portray different characters and what have you. And we do also have, like, your big superstars, such as Denzel Washington, also coming to South Africa and acting out a South African story. It just shows you just how powerful our industry is.
It leads to the point about District 9. So yes, there is the global success, but sometimes local understanding can also be lost in translation. So whilst Denzel was a success story, tell us a little bit more about the other side of the coin as well with District 9.
Oh, well, I mean, District 9, the thing about it is, who would have thought that South Africa can put out a sci-fi movie? And we did it. There's nothing impossible that when it comes to South Africa. And I mean, District 9 is just one of those movies that you just put out there. it's sci-fi. It just shows you that we do have the capability and the creativity, and we can actually really delve into different things. It's not just, South Africa doesn't just put out struggle movies. It can put out something like that. It can put out things like Jock of the Bushveld, which is an animation movie.
Absolutely.
It's also in the book as well. Yeah.
But you know, it brings the issue of we're not short of talent, but access to it, resources, gatekeeping. That's also something that you have to obviously be cognizant of. Even the celebrations we do, it's not just the forward-facing talent as well, right? There's so many people along the value chain that has to be celebrated.
Yes, there are so many people. I mean, there was a march that has happened in the past couple of days. Yeah, where you know, actors and people who work in the film industry, they went to the government and say, you need to help us out because now our industry is suffering. And that's the thing about film, is that it creates a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. It's not just the talent that we see on the screen, but it's many people behind the scenes. I mean, a person like myself, what I do whenever I watch a movie, when the movie is finished, I don't just walk out. I watch the credits as well.
Thank you, me too.
I check out the credits, and you can check like how many people actually were involved in putting this production piece together. And those are the jobs that we actually do need, because a lot of them, they're freelancers. And they need the film industry to keep going so that they can also, you know, keep getting employed and keep getting jobs. It's a very important topic.
And it's crazy that you're drawing parallels, because we're looking at 2026 and how, you know, the plight of artists hasn't changed much given the lack of infrastructure and support. So it's going to be interesting to see how this government addresses it. Laughter, though, and it's again to your point about the singing, you know, laughter is something that heals us as a nation. It also brings us together. Satirical action. We saw it from the likes of Leon Schuster.
He's in here.
Leading up, he's also in here. That was very important. Exactly.
Oh, man, Leon Schuster, you must be joking. It's something else. And also, I mean, Sweet and Short. The thing about Leon Schuster's movies is that I even, like, when we had like a VCR at home, we played that movie over and over again till the VCR was like, you know what, actually, it packed up. Yeah, it packed up. So, yeah, no, Leon Schuster has really given South Africa quite a lot of special moments when it comes to laughter and comedy. And I mean, yeah, look, man, the guy with all of the stuff that he was doing, he caught a couple of claps when he was pranking people as well. That shows a lot of commitment. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. And so that's why I also documented it as well.
No, he's a national treasure for us as well. But speaking of national treasures, owning our own stories, it's important, but we also need to caution on the side of when you're imposing or exposing too much. Ingleba, the wound. That was obviously a cultural practice, a coming of age story. The controversy a little bit there as well was important to explore.
Okay. With Ingleba, I'm going to say this.
Sure.
Firstly, I'm closer, right?
Exactly.
Ingleba, it was not given the chance. Well, it eventually, after there was a lot of fights about it, because people thought that, no, it's going to expose what's happening in the mountains when the boys go through the passage there. But now the thing about Ingleba is, when you watch the movie, and you actually really watch the movie, to watch it to understand it, it's got nothing to do with exposing what's happening at the mountains. It's a love story. It's a homosexual love story, and it's a love triangle. That's it. That's what it was. And Nakane, he actually played his part really well. He can sing, he can act, he can do all sorts of things. And that's the thing about the movie Ingleba. It had nothing to do with exposing what is not supposed to be known about the Xhosa culture. It was just basically a love story that was just happening over there.
Yeah. Look, Lelo, I need to wrap up. You had a mammoth task, because I didn't even know how you got to these 40 titles. But the story for South Africa is still being written. So where to from here? What do you think the next evolution looks like as we wrap up?
Okay, so in the book, I've written about the rise of virtual production. Now, that's something that's going to be taking over when it comes to the making of movies, because things evolve. So, like, the virtual production is when, like, let's say, there's going to be some kind of technology. Well, it's already here, and they're starting to use it now, where you can create a film set of any place in the world without having to actually fly the crew and everybody there. It can be like a studio such as this one, and then the screens can be like, okay, let's turn this into the Grand Canyons. And then it's a film set that's in the Grand Canyons, but it's here in Johannesburg. So that's the next step when it comes to film.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to part 2 then, because that's where the story continues. But for now, Action, a celebration of South African cinema. It was by Lelo Mzaca. Just reminds us, South African cinema didn't begin with permission. It won't survive without intention. And so we're obviously looking at where to from from here as we navigate the next terrain so that everyone along the value chain is empowered. But thank you to him for penning thoughts to paper and joining us bright and early this morning to chat.